Hello, Mr. Movie Lover here for yet another review. And at this point, I feel like I'm doing a running joke, where I keep saying that there will be a Hamilton video, but it keeps postponing. I promise I'm working on it, and it will sort of be amazing. But while I'm getting a few more things together, I thought I'd share a movie that many of you might have forgotten, and that would be The Green Hornet. So, The Green Hornet came out in 2011, and I did not watch it. 9 years go by with this movie popping up every once in a great while as a possibility for me to watch. And I'm like, meh, it looks goofy. Also, its reviews were not great. So this week I was scrolling through Netflix and it came up as an option, and I decided to give it a try. I don't get it. This movie was great. I really enjoyed it. It's at a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb and 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's kind of like a hit or miss with everyone, but maybe it's because I haven't really thought about it really ever. It felt like the same kind of wacky humor you'd expect out of Seth Rogen. Think Pineapple Express, but with hardly any drug references and rated PG-13 instead of R. So I think I'll try something different here and list my top 10 favorite things about the Green Hornet. And this seems like a good time to ask for you to go ahead and give this video a like, please. It's like you're giving me a virtual high five, which with these times, I know many of us miss those. So go ahead and click on that thumbs up so I can continue with this review. Number 10, the opening sequence with James Franco. You know it's hard to find a Seth Rogen movie that doesn't have James Franco chewing up a scene in a good way. And this does not disappoint. Play with Chirstoph Waltz, who also gets to just take his popular acting style and crank it up to 11. James Franco calls him out for being lame and looking lame and not being scary anymore, and Chou kills all of his goons and proves him wrong by killing him as well. In fact, it's hard to find bad guys that Chou doesn't just kill all by himself. Number 9, the climax scene. It's hard to describe just how awesome it is without spoiling the ending. Of course, this isn't a complex thriller, so you'll figure out how it's going to end soon enough when watching. But let's just say cars and buildings get destroyed all over the place. Awesome. Number 8, Black Beauty. Green Hornet's car is named Black Beauty, much like the horse stories of my youth.
My beautiful Ginger. Oh God, she was skin and bones. What had they done to her? She was almost too weak to know who I was. It's me, Ginger. It's me.
It's loaded with so many gadgets that James Bond might have to take notice. There's missiles. Also, side note, I realized while writing this that I didn't seem to know how missiles was spelled. Have I never written or typed that word out in my whole life? That doesn't make sense. There are words that I kind of space on for a minute, but I could not for the life of me forget how to spell missiles. I kept trying to add extra E's where I should have been. It's strange. Also, there's bulletproof glass, miniguns, a flamethrower, and also beanbag launchers.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Ooh.
There are many more things that I missed, but if you think of one of them, mention them in the comments, please. Number 7, Cameron Diaz. Once again, I had forgotten anything I ever knew about this film prior to watching it. So when Cameron Diaz showed up to be his secretary a good third of the way through the movie, I was very surprised. I'm kind of cringing about how both Brett and Kato hit on her, especially Brett being her boss, but she does eventually tell him that she is willing to sue him for sexual harassment if he makes any more passes at her. You can definitely tell that this movie came out several years ago with that. But she proves to be the brains of the outfit, even if she doesn't even know that she's helping the Hornet out. Number 6, while we're talking surprise supporting actors, Edward James Olmos is in it. Admiral Adama himself.
Action stations. Start the clock. Start the clock.
He plays the head guy at Brett's newspaper. And David Harbour plays District Attorney Scanlon. They both were pleasant surprises for me. Neither had a huge role, but they both added to the movie. Number 5, I mentioned Chirstoph Waltz as the main bad guy, Chou, whose name characters keep having a hard time pronouncing.
How do I pronounce it?
Although I don't think it's that difficult.
Tchaikovsky? Chudovsky?
Chudnovsky.
Chudnovsky? All right. Chudnovsky, kiss.
Waltz is an Austrian-German actor who I first knew from Inglourious Basterds.
What is that English expression about shoes and feet?
Looks like the shoe's on the other foot. Yeah, just thinking of it.
Sie können wegtreten.
He does tend to keep playing villains. But he also had some good guy roles as well, with Django Unchained and Alita Battle Angel. By the way, if you have a chance to see Alita, go check it out. It's one of the better live-action depictions of an anime.
I'm with her.
In this film, he's more of a cartoon villain with his double-barreled pistol, which looks like they took the top half of two pistols and glued them onto one grip. And also his constant need of approval from others while he tries to be the scariest kingpin he can be.
What, you truly don't think I'm scary?
The cartooniness of his character does add to the overall comedy of the film though, and that's good enough for me. Number 4, the fight scenes. I like the fighting, especially how GH doesn't know how to fight at all. It's extremely obvious how the only reason he's even a crime fighter is because of Kato. I'll cover more about that in a minute, but the action is entertaining and creative. It reminds me a little bit of Jackie Chan films, where he's constantly improvising with all the stuff around him. Good stuff. Number 3, Seth Rogen. This is more of a Seth Rogen film than an actual superhero film. Like I said before, Brett Reed reminds me a lot of Dale Denton in Pineapple Express.
Who's this?
I'm Dale, Mr. Red. Nice to meet you.
Dale who?
You know, it's probably best if you don't know my full name.
Dale Denton, don't worry, he's with me.
Dale Denton, nice to meet you, bro. Hold on, let me get this lock, okay?
He isn't really good at anything. They make a point of hitting you over the head with that in the beginning, as his father is disappointed in him, just partying his way through life. He can't fight, or really run a company, or talk to humans very well. Recall back to my comments about his interactions with his secretary. There is one fight scene where he does get to do some good fighting. Too bad it's with a friend. If it weren't for Seth Rogen playing this character, I might not have liked him at all. He's just good at making that kind of personality funny, I guess. Good on him. Number 2, Jay Chou, who plays Kato. That role was played by Bruce Lee in the 60s, so he had some pretty big shoes to fill, and I think he pulled it off nicely. This was his first movie in Hollywood, and he plays Kato, Brett's father's car guy, who builds wicked cars for him and also makes the world's best cup of coffee from an espresso machine that he made himself. Kato is a jack of all trades. He can fight with Matrix-level accuracy, and he is a driving ace almost to a fault. There's a scene when they first go out in the car, and they're being chased by some police. So they force the police car off the road, and it flips, which I'm pretty sure would likely kill an actual person driving that car. I was waiting for them to be worried about being cop killers, but they just laughed it off and said it was awesome. I ranked him higher than Seth Rogen because, like I said, he's pretty much the true hero of the movie. Also, Chou is an accomplished singer and songwriter and owns his own record label. He also wrote and sang the end credits song Nunchucks, which is pretty catchy. And the number 1 reason to watch the Green Hornet is just the feel of the movie. It's fun, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. Kato opens 2 beers by swiping his hand across the caps, causing them to fly across the room like 2 throwing stars. The Green Hornet has a knockout gas gun. The movie came out a year before the first Avengers movie in 2012, so superhero films were just getting rolling again, and DC was taking a serious turn with The Dark Knight. The Green Hornet wasn't trying to build a universe, and people might have heard of this hero. Some people might have remembered it from the 60s. This movie reminded me of some of the more fun superhero films from the 90s, like Blank Man, Meteor Man, and even Mystery Men. Those movies were comedies first and superhero films second, and although none of them were really critically praised, they were all fun and entertaining, and that's what it's all about. So there you have it. Those are my top 10 reasons to watch The Green Hornet. If you like this video and you want to see more of them, please make sure to subscribe to this channel. And also, don't forget to give this video another like. I don't think you can like it twice, but if you can, that'd be cool. My next video will most definitely, absolutely be Hamilton. That's it. No backsies this time. So stay tuned to find out what the musical about our country's first Secretary of Treasury is all about. But until then, I'm Mr. Movie Lover, and I'll see you later. Thank you and goodbye.